Your reaction to what we're seeing in the pre-market? The pre-market future's actually up right now.
Well, pretty disheartening slide yesterday, Frank, after we saw pretty mixed messaging. If you look at Janet Yellen, in contrast, what Fed Chairman Powell was saying, it was like two signals going each way. And I think the market is just having a hard time measuring. And I agree with the Citi CEO, Frazier. This is not a crisis. This is a bunch of novice bond traders mismanaging treasury books at Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank, and some of the other banks. So it's very isolated. So I think as the market continues to try and measure what we actually have on our hands, I agree it's not a crisis. So we did see a late of the day sell-off. We are seeing some stabilization today. The VIX is still under 25, but it's fascinating to me to see the different opportunities as we really try to measure the new input. The new input is how much are banks actually borrowing on this weekly basis to help stabilize their balance sheets. But this is not a crisis, Frank. This is mismanaged treasury. These are novice bond traders that do not know how to pair possible redemptions to 6 months once out. So I look at opportunities this morning, but I think it's really wide kind of spread that the Federal Reserve, specifically Janet Yellen's comments, really revealed the fact that they're not that concerned. Yes, there's problems. Yes, it's isolated, but they're not that concerned. Otherwise, Janet Yellen would have stepped up and said, yes, we are going to blanket insurance.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were surprised by her comments. I also want to go to Jay Powell's comments, indicated that we might get one more rate hike, at the same time saying inflation is their top priority. So a lot of times people read into what Jay Powell is saying and kind of determine what he's saying. Right now, do you believe we only have one more hike and that's it? He also said he considered the Fed considered a pause. So kind of balance those two ideas for me.
So what I took away, and that's the beauty of a FOMC press conference, that everyone takes away what they want to take. But what I take away is that we're done. The Fed is done. They are not going to pause. Why is that, Frank? It's because they can't measure what actually is the ripple effect. What is the tightening effect of this banking situation? So therefore, I think they're on a pause, just like Looney Tunes. As crazy as this month has been, at the end of the Looney Tunes cartoon, they say, that's all, folks. And I think that is what Fed Chairman Powell is saying. They're going to take a pause. They're going to have to sit back and measure. And the beauty of what is going on right now, or the opportunity from a trader perspective, they don't know what to measure with. Are they using a scale? Are they using a measuring stick? So they're having a hard time quantifying what actually happened. But that's providing a lot of opportunity. Look specifically in oil, Frank. The oil sector, which is down year to date, is still the only S&P 500 sector up on a one-year look back.
All right, you're into oil. What about tech? Last time you were here, you were about the nasties of the NASDAQ, NVIDIA, AMD, Tesla, and Lucid.
So put my trader hat back on, and yes, the nasty of the NASDAQ, the Tesla, the Lucid, the AMD, the NVIDIA, that is still working for us. So we're going to rebalance and reposition that at the end of the quarter. But yesterday was really tremendous opportunity. Look at Boeing. Boeing's name just this morning. They just picked up a 21 order from Japanese Airlines. That's not a big deal, Frank, $2.5 billion. But when you talk about a headline name like a Japanese airline, I think Boeing is an opportunity. Lastly, Lockheed Martin, very similar, congruent line.
Got to leave it on the last one. Lockheed Martin's the last one. Jeff Kilburg, always great to see you, but we got to call it a day.